This young leader was feeling frustrated and defeated. He was being told on every side that he needed to set goals, keep his eyes on them, and go after them until he had achieved them. That was how he was going to be successful, a successful leader and a successful part of the team. But instead, he tended to walk through open doors and bounce off the ones that closed in front of him. He thought because of that, there was something wrong with him and his leadership, and so did his leaders think this about him. It was creating strife in his own life and his relationship with his team. Yet, here's what they didn't see. He wasn't being irresponsible. He was going about it in a different way. And it really was working out well for him. He took opportunities in front of him. He cared about the people that were in front of him. And he let the goals evolve as he did. And this was the misunderstood yet very beautifully used CliftonStrengths talent theme of adaptability. Hi there, I'm Becky Hammond, and you are tuning into the Isogo TV podcast from IsogoStrong.com. You know, you and I gather right here on this podcast to make relationships easier on our teams and in our families. And this is episode 97 in our Make Relationships Easier with Your Strengths series. And today we're chatting all about one of the 34 Clifton strengths, the adaptability strength. It's so easy to see the negative and focus in on that. But really, you can impact your relationships around you by emphasizing the positive, the strengths that you already have, that they already have. Yet sometimes, as you probably already know, the line between what you use as a strength and what can then negatively affect your relationships is a thin one. So let's continue to take a look at what it might look like to make relationships easier through the lens of adaptability. Oh man, this amazing adaptability strength is not in my natural tool belt. So early on in my strengths understanding, I really struggled with this one, seeing the life through your lens. But man, how I appreciate your adaptability strength now and your perspective. If adaptability is a dominant theme for you, then you are an in-the-moment person, and that's such a value to the people in your life. Your adaptability strength not only gives you an innate flexibility in the way that you approach life, but it allows you the freedom to pursue unexpected roads and adventures that just kind of appear in front of you. You have a unique ability to be entirely present with the people in front of you. You thrive in less predictable environments, and you show others the value of being able to go with the flow in a world where really the only predictability is unpredictability. But in a world that values goal setting and future visioning and massive checklists, I found that folks with adaptability lens can feel a good deal of dissonance in the workplace and even at home. So you can help others around you see that your path to success and strong relationships at the same time allows room for the unknown and is very comfortable taking life a day at a time. Doesn't necessarily need that 5-year vision. And just like all of them, it's up to you as to how you use this adaptability strength. You know, the volume that you choose for your adaptability theme in any given situation will help you get to that point of making relationships easier, or you could be making them harder as well. You know, when adaptability is in overdrive, you'll be floating on every whim and may even blow off commitments to be present with the person or activity that's in front of you that you weren't expecting when you had made that other commitment. But that can rub people the wrong way. So here are a couple ideas of ways to craft your environment to feed your adaptability strength while continuing to build strong, easier relationships. So first, set up an intentional time to lead an adventure. This is kind of a fun one. You're a leader in your own right. So what if you set up a day or experience that relies on your adaptability strength and then brought others along to show them how you think? So maybe it would look something like this. Like, find something you're interested in that others close to you and your teammates might also enjoy, and then make a day of it. Tell people that you're inviting them on a day that's bound to be filled with different twists and turns as they go with the flow with you. And then remind them that you're taking the lead and taking responsibility for what happens throughout the day, because this little caveat is important because they might not feel so comfortable as you do with kind of this go with the flow. Then make a rough plan like you usually do and go. And then throughout the day or activity, others around you may be tempted to direct. So you can Belay their fears by letting them know that you're comfortable leading in this way and will promise them adventure, even if it's not what you set out to do. Afterward, debrief with everyone and ask them where people felt comfortable and uncomfortable, and then you can share the same. And of course, as is true of every day in your life especially, there won't be a day without challenges, but it will certainly be an adventure and a way to see how your mind and its brilliance works in the relationships around you. Then second is the reframing of your mindset around adaptability. As we've been talking about, much of using our strengths to make relationships easier is about mindset. And then the discipline or the commitment to follow that mindset with action. That mindset is about knowing and appreciating and dialing in your own strengths, and then knowing and appreciating the strengths of the people that are around us. So for your adaptability strength, your mindset shift has to do with a willingness to see how your ability to be present with one person or activity might impact another part of the relationship or the work puzzle. When somebody or something pops up, or you end up lingering longer than you first expected, begin to train yourself to pause and to think, how does this impact what I was doing or what I said I was going to be doing? If there's an impact on others around you, then take a moment to be sure that you communicate your new plan. It doesn't mean that your new plan is not a good one necessarily, but it does mean that others will need to be let in on it, and then maybe even weigh in on it so that they don't feel left out or jaded or frustrated by the change of the river flow that you so easily followed that maybe they can't. Then once it's communicated, you're likely free to go back to that interruption that's become your new path for the day or for the moment. There we have it, at least scratching the surface about using your flexible and available adaptability strength to make relationships easier around you, on your team, or in your family, or both. If you operate from the adaptability strength, or you know someone who does, I'd love to know, how does this description and the actions that we talked about today, how do they sit with you? How do they resonate, or how do they not resonate with you? And even better, what else would you do, or do you do, to dial in your own adaptability strength to impact the relationships that are around you? This is not a rhetorical question. I believe you have so much to teach me along the way as you live out this strength. So there are a couple ways that you can jump in on this conversation. You can comment on the blog post that goes up with this episode. That's over at isogostrong.com/episode 97. Or you could head over to Instagram and tag or direct message me at Isogo Strong with an example of your adaptability strength used well or gone astray. And for both the website and Instagram, Isogo Strong is spelled ISOGO Strong. You and your strengths have the power to make a ripple effect in your family and your team across the entire world, to make relationships easier and to propel you to a flourishing family or team. So dial them in, take ownership for your mindset, and make relationships easier around you. See you next time on Isogo TV.